Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MRCE Racing here at a very damp Canadian Grand Prix for round number 18. Very tight grid at the moment. Just fourth all the way through to P9 is separated by 3/10, whereas P2 and P3, as Gilzo did improve to a 1:15.591 as Stefano goes pole in that Williams. Provisionally at the moment 1:15.3 on the hypers. So we have Stefano, the Croatian, starting on pole in that Williams on the hyper softs with a 1:15.3. Lights are away here in Canada, in a very wet Canada, and it looks like a great start for Mr. Stefano. Decides to cover off Mr. Psycho Satan, and it's three abreast further back into turn one, but a great start from Stefano in the Williams to keep himself in the lead. The yellow flag further behind. It looks like Evolution is starting to drop a few positions down into P11 as Mr. Psycho Satan is keeping up to the pace into P2. The Force India of Gilzo, excellent start from him, getting himself up to P3, along with the Haas of Jome following suit further behind. All clean, all drivers look like they might have gotten away very cleanly, although the Addy has dropped away from the pack. He might have been tangled with another driver. He looks like he's got a little bit of end plate damage. He does indeed, so he's going to be struggling to get that back to the pits. And look, it's going to be side by side between Jome and the Renault of Will up towards turn 8. Will does have the inside. Who's going to be under the brakes late as he shoves the Haas wide on the exit of turn 9, and now is under the threat of RC7 in the Williams. Williams is going to have to do it round the outside into the hairpin. Is going to be late onto the brakes. The Haas is very late onto the brakes. A little bit of contact with the Renault of Will, but doesn't. Splendid spinning and spiralling out of this Grand Prix. RC7 up the inside of the Haas into turn 1, but the Haas is going to have the inside line into turn 2. The Haas gives him a little tap as the Williams goes sliding, drifting through turn 3 and keeps the position. Evolution has spun, our championship contender has spun it on the exit of turn 7 or 6 should I say, and he has fallen down the orders down to P13. He will be furious in that Red Bull cockpit. What happened to Gilzo? I'm going to keep an eye on him. He has wing damage, so he must have lost it coming through either turn 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So he will be struggling now. Will he make an early pit stop? That is a very harsh damage on the front right of his Force India, and into the pits he goes. Very sensible, does not want to be knocking himself out of this Grand Prix with the damage he has sustained. Maybe make a move not into the hairpin, thinks better of it, and may try and man the outside as well. The Williams goes up the inside of the Renault. A little bit of contact again and sent him nearly into a half spin, but sensibly keeps the position. Does Will and RC7, but absolutely brings in the rest of the pack of the Haas of Jome, Nellis, and it's going to be a 5 or 6 way battle just for P4 for the end of this race, as it's side by side between Callis and VPG into the chicane, and Callis holds on to P6 there. Will he go for an ambitious move once again up the inside into the hairpin? He thinks better of it. Later under the brakes, has to avoid him, and later under the brakes, as Callis dives up the inside, managed to get it stick. And RC7 bashes himself into the wall on exit, maybe forced a little bit wide. The McLaren of VPG right on his gearbox. Both drivers getting very close to that wall as Callis is gone. He has lost it. Look at the wreckage of his Alfa Romeo on going up towards turn 6. Absolute carnage for Alfa. We're right on board with this little battle for P4 as Gilzo is going to be in the slipstream. Does the McLaren cover the inside? He does not, and Gilzo's going to have the inside into the chicane. Gilzo doesn't fight it as much, should I say VPG doesn't fight it, and takes back P4. I assume all these drivers will be following suit, will follow on with Stefano into the pits. He does come as Psycho Satan and Fola are going to be side by side. Fola has got the move done going into the pits, so he'll be going into the pits in P2. Will he be coming out though? As Psycho Satan will be served first. Onto a set of supers. Does Mr. Psycho Satan go? Stefano has come out on a set of super softs as well. I assume Fola will be coming out. It does indeed on a set of supers. Will he be coming out in front of that Mercedes? What has happened there? A little bit of a glitch, but he has come out comfortably in front of Mr. Psycho Satan. So he got that move done on the Mercedes, down the back straight towards the pit entrance, and he has benefited it very well. Looks like both evenly matched, although RC7 will have DRS, will have Slipstream. Will he go for the inside? Orshus defends into the chicane, round the outside goes RC7, he gets the move done. Fantastic move there from the Williams driver on the brakes, later on the brakes, and gets the move completed up into P6. He did have the second dose of DRS to give himself a chance to pull away from the Haas driver. Fantastic move there from RC7. Loses a little bit of time, having to be forced the longer way around, but it looks like it might be a very easy move for RC7 down this main back straight. Neles does cover the inside, but it looks like RC7 is going to have the slipstream, going to have the overspeed, going to have DRS, and gets by very easily. Those ultra softs are worn to pieces. We are going to ride on board with Stefano as he crosses the finish line and takes a fantastic victory here in Canada. Excellent drive from him to take pole, to lead all the way, essentially all the way through. Fowler, fantastic drive from him to take P2, and Mr. Psycho saying keeping his championship lead alive with podium position. You can see the Williams driver triumph on the top step of the podium, who is going to be very happy with himself with his performance there. Mastered qualifying in the damp conditions, mastered the wet start, and mastered the dry switchover as well. Kept himself clean, kept himself clear, and seals the race victory.